Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Stone Genius Podcast. My name is Ro. This episode is guaranteed to have 80% less crying.
Woo-hoo.
If you listen to the last podcast, then you'll understand what that means. And I hope
It's
there's
not over yet, though, Ro.
less.
It's not over yet.
What's that?
It's not over yet. 80% less. But,
I know, it isn't. Tim Lightell's on the show. Hey, Tim, hold on. The crowd, they still love you, Tim.
Thanks for having me, Ro. I appreciate it. Always fun to be here. My first one back since your health issue.
I'm not Jamie Foxx. We can call a stroke a stroke. Actually, I will tell you this. If most people, so especially the fitness level that I was in, I would say that upwards of 95% of the people, if you would have said, someone would have said, Rodney had a stroke, they would have said, okay. And they would have made something.
Yeah.
They would, and so.
Well, we had I had the advantage of meeting you in person. So I saw you walking around New York, healthy as a horse, is what I would describe you. And you were like eating healthy. You didn't really eat very much. I remember in New York when we showed the movie.
I usually don't.
You know?
I think I lost 15 pounds on that trip, and I'm not kidding.
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah. And I feel like that's what they say is, I got a few doctors in my life, and they say, "Are you playing props?" But I don't hear anything. I
didn't hear you. Do you hear me?
I say I got a few doctors in my life. I can hear you fine. I got a few doctors in my life, and they say caloric restriction is kind of the fountain of youth.
Yeah, that's why I don't
say.
I guess people would have to understand that I'm 57 to say it's funny when I say I don't look a day over 56. But yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I just see it when I'm hungry, and it's funny because I honestly, and I have nothing to back this up except my own anecdotal evidence of 57 years. I think that everyone does fall within a weight range where you have a high and a low. So my low is 156. And it's funny because on the BMI calculator, that's about where I go to undernourished, about 156 at my height. But at 156, I am hungry. Like I dropped to 156 in the hospital, and I was like, I just ate, but I'm not going to eat here in the hospital for another 5 hours. Can you go to Shake Shack, which I shouldn't have said their name because they're not giving me any free food. But but then when then I actually, and I talked about this on, I think one of the podcasts, but I have stroke brain, so I don't know. I gained 23 pounds, so I got up to 179. And I always say that 182 is about the top of where I feel. But at 179, I just wasn't hungry. I may have eaten once a day. I think I haven't eaten yet today, and it's almost noon.
Yeah.
So
are you back to like obviously you're walking, because I saw you walking around and changing the mics.
Yes.
Are you walking like for exercise? So
here is my status. My status is that if you've met me, so if you saw me again, you would probably notice little things.
Gotcha.
Just because you
were tooling around. I guess that's what I'm comparing it to. In New York, you were tooling around. You were walking pretty fast. We were up and down the stairs. We were.
Yeah, I mean, I'm used to working out twice a day. I probably even worked out, even though I took an early flight out. I probably worked out that morning before on a flight. And so I'm moving fairly well. My issues, I still have no feeling on my right side. So everything is spatial awareness. So like walking through my house, we have gotten on the let's pretend dad is blind or Rodney's blind bandwagon, because as long as nothing's on the floor or anything in my way, I can pretty much motor around and get around because I know I'm not going to run into everything. I know how my distance from everything. My problem is that if I get in a new like a new location or something moves around here, I could be at jeopardy. Like if I broke my arm, I would not feel it.
Weird.
Yeah. Well, I can't say that for a fact. To my knowledge, I haven't broken anything yet. I can't feel, I cut myself pretty good. I got cut on my foot pretty good. And it was actually heard. And that's the weird thing is I'll have to like fill in the blanks. So I heard something kind of like wet and I looked down and it was blood on my foot.
Wow.
But the way I didn't feel the cut, I didn't feel the blood on my foot. I had to go, what is that sound? And I was like, that sounds something wet. And I know that I don't have feeling on my body. So we're going to get to this here. So this is really, and this feels like we're going to take, I know I only have you for an hour. This feels like it's going to be a very quick jump, but we're going to do it. Let me ask you this real quick. How are you doing?
Well, thanks for asking. I'm good. We're on a new script, which I'm pretty excited about.
Is it Man Baby 2 Electric Boogaloo?
It's not Son of Man Baby. It's not Man Baby 2. It's actually like very different. We're going much more realistic in this next
Is there a part? Please tell me there is a part for me.
Not as of yet. But well,
I don't think you're trying hard enough.
Because I have to write for people I know. You know what I mean? Like I can't write.
You know me.
Strangers, so I know you, and so exactly.
I will do literally at this point in my life. I will do. So you're writing a new script. Let it get creepy. Hold on, they gotta get to the creepy. Yeah. Okay, so you're writing a new script. What else do you have?
I got a new part-time job. I'm working part-time now. You know, I work for myself. But business been a little slow, and so I'm working part-time at a radio station, actually. Well, I don't work for the station or the show. I work for the corporation that owns both of those. I'm a digital producer for a local show here in Seattle. Oh. And it's really, really fun. It's really, really great. It's a show that I actually was like a fan of. It's a afternoon drive show. And
so what are their common topics?
It's kind of like a zoo. Like it's like three guys, well, really four guys. So three guys and the producer, and they kind of chat it up about news stories, but it's not like political news. It's like news of the weird, and they take a lot of callers. And
well, I will tell you this. I am probably, if someone was going to give me like, do you think Roe is more into three ways or segues? I think they would say three ways, but I am going to use the guys. They may want me on the show for this next topic. So I want to talk to you about my OnlyFans account.
Okay. You are going to start an OnlyFans, or have you already started?
No. I've had one active for years, and I have done absolutely nothing with it. I literally opened it. I hope it has a date created somewhere I can see that, because I literally I've never even looked around. I don't know. I don't know exactly, but here's what I do know. I am 57. I have had a stroke. My 401k nest egg, hey, let's retire early, that is long gone. The medical bills, while they're still mounting, I guess not as quickly as they were. Mm-hmm. So I would do almost anything. However, so that's why I've had the OnlyFans. Like if someone said, hey, I'll give you $10,000 to stick something in your butt, I'd be like, okay. I mean, I'm not going to stick something in my butt that hurts me. But like if they're like if it causes me less than $10,000 worth of discomfort, then I'm okay with it.
Right.
That's what I'm saying at this point.
I mean, I think the big catch here is getting $10,000 for that. You might get 10, I think. And that's not a comment on you personally. I just think it's right to get somebody to stick something in their butt nowadays is a very long tail.
Yeah. So and that's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid of, so I was trying to think of, I need a niche, and you may be too young to know this, and I don't know why, probably because of who I am, but I don't know exactly why I know about this genre of movie. Even though you are a movie producer, director, writer, actor,
I'm a movie guy.
You are a movie guy.
I love movies.
Yeah.
I'm a movie guy.
So I'm going to hope that you don't like the genre that I'm going to spit out here in a second. But it's going to be, here's the thing. If you ever wanted to mention this at a dinner party, a gathering, and you wanted to quickly weed people out, you could ask them about the genre. And the genre that I'm talking about is a snuff film. Are you familiar with a snuff film?
Snuff film? Yeah. I mean, I know what a snuff film is for sure. I wouldn't say that I'm a fan or that but yes, I know what a snuff film is.
Okay, so
we're talking snuff films.
Here is my idea for OnlyFans. That my genre is potential snuff films. Like every time I have sex now, Bobby is afraid that I'm going to die. And so I think people would tune in for that. I mean, first of all, Bobby and I are beautiful people. And if you're going to pay to watch people have sex, why not us? So it's something. It's not like if I don't die, you still get something. You got to see two beautiful people having sex. But there's I'm not going to say a really good chance. I hope not a really good chance, but there is a chance.
It's a roll of the dice.
It is. It really is. And wouldn't you want to be viewing that live as opposed to hearing about it around the water cooler the next day?
Right. It's a very interesting idea.
I think people would pay for that just because, and if I said outrageously too, like, and it would be some weird number, like 117.59 monthly, like some weird, it
should be like 86 though, because like 86 is like the death number, right?
Yeah.
86 somebody.
Yeah. But I'm going to say, because my wife is also, I mean, she's 50 years old. I'm 57. So there's a slim chance that both of us could have just gone, regardless of my stroke status. So I would take that 86 and I would double it to 192. And then, hold on, is that right? 86. No, 172. Ow. 92. Yes. 86. 160, 612, 19. I can't. Fuck. See, and this is what bothers me. Because I used to be so good at mental math. And sometimes I can still remember stuff. And sometimes I just sit there. Because it would always be funny. This is when I would become a narcissist. I would like showing my intellect. And I would love doing math. And people would be doing something on a calculator. And I would give them the answer before they got it typed into the calculator.
Right.
They'd be like, yeah, what he said. So let's see. If it was 86, then it's gonna be 80 is gonna be 160 ? Yeah, 160 because 20. So that'd be 160, and then the 6 is gonna be the 12. So 172. So I would charge 172 because there's a slight chance you would get to see 2 deaths. Because how amazing would that be that? I mean, hold on. Not amazing that Bobby dies, but if she were the one to die unexpectedly during sex, and then I had a stroke and died because she had died, I mean, it's like a twofer. I mean, for sure. And the more outrageous, the more people would be like, yeah, I think there's something here. Like, I think there's something he's not telling us. Like, I don't think his blood pressure really is 109/74, which I'll tell you. So here's the weird thing. I go, my blood pressure, and I do point this out to Bobby because I do track it, that on the graph, you can tell when we've had sex.
Yeah.
It's like real low, real low. And then I say real high, but it's like 145/85, which I know a lot of people out there are like, I would love to have that blood pressure. And I get it. But for me, that seems pretty high. And it's funny, it always spikes. But I do think, I have said this, and Bobby and I have talked about this, and we are doing a Valentine's Day show for the longest one I can. But we were trying to see if there was any identifiers or clues that something was wrong. Like the last day, the day of my stroke, I said I didn't feel like working out that morning, which is really not typical. Like, at our age, Bobby should have probably asked a lot more questions. I don't know if I would have been able to answer them. I don't know if I would have been able to answer them in a way that would have indicated I was going to have a stroke later in the morning. But I did feel like I was much more fatigued post-sec right before my stroke than I had after my stroke.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. But I do think people would pay for that.
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting idea. So, I guess what are the rules? There are like lots of rules on OnlyFans about that kind of stuff, but
and that's why it would have to be like, because it's like, like it's not
around some things.
Like, I wonder if you could say that. Like, you probably can't say.
You can't probably say the word snuff. You probably can't even say the word death, probably. But you can probably call it something cool that would
stroke adjacent, heaven adjacent. He's heaven. Right, well, no one's gonna believe that. Hell,
or just like danger sex or something. Like risk. Maybe you probably can't say risky sex actually on OnlyFans. Probably.
I don't think I would want either. No, I wouldn't want either one of those, risky or dangerous. No,
risky or dangerous. But that's essentially what you're trying to.
It is, but
get people who are into. You're trying to get people who are into risky, dangerous sex.
Yeah, honestly, if people like you freak, if you know what a snuff film is already,
yes,
then you would probably, you're either going to pay or you're not going to pay. You're going to be like, I'm not interested in that, or most likely they're going to be like, you know what? Let's see what the shortest membership term is and what I actually get.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a niche, but there's got to be. It's a niche, but I think there's also like a mainstream audience for that because I know there's lots of simulated pornography where where people are like zombified, right? Is like kind of a big niche where people are, and that's basically like you're dead, right? Like
here,
you don't need to even
an example,
kill somebody.
I mean, I know a gentleman that made a movie about a man that dressed as a baby and then tried to gaslight his wife into becoming a better mom, proving that she's a better mom.
Yes.
So,
yes. And I did that to try to satisfy a niche.
I mean, yours is a movie, and I have seen your movie multiple times. I'm hoping to do a proper review of it. You and I had discussed that, and we may do something like that.
We're going to try to do a little supercut for you soon, which I think I actually really like that idea just as a promotional thing too. I think I mentioned fun. That. I think it'd be a fun little promotional thing. Yeah.
I mean, because I do think that would be fun. But here's my thing. Yours is, in 90 minutes, 98 minutes, something like that.
93 minutes.
93 minutes. Okay. So yours is 93 minutes, and I've watched it multiple times. But I'm not going to say everyone's going to watch it multiple times. Like, they probably didn't buy the DVD, and they probably are not like, hey, what do you want to watch Friday night? I don't know. Right. Hey, man, baby, sure, let's watch it again. I don't think it's at that level yet. I'm not going to say that it's not going to attain that level.
Well, and also, if you want to watch it now, you got to have commercials too, which a lot of people are kind of like, you'll tune out after a commercial because it interrupts things.
Who wants to sign in for something so you don't get commercials?
Yep.
So my thing is, Bobby and I typically are 3 times a week having sex. So if we're and we've been together 29 years, and we both still, after one of the things that make us so successful in our relationship is we still try to be we're intimate with each other, and it's not just not a physical act for me. I guess I'll only speak for myself at this point. But if people were getting to see, let's say 25 to 30 minutes, 3 times a week. I mean, this isn't even as much commitment as watching American Idol, which I think is 3 1-hour episodes a week. So, you're okay. Let's say maybe I'm giving myself too much credit there. So let's say 20 to 30 minutes. So you're getting between an hour to an hour and a half of content weekly.
Yeah.
Unless I die. And if I die, isn't that worth like 90 seconds
I think it's interesting. Yeah. I think there's an audience for it for sure. And now you're kind of going in a different angle with that now. Now my brain's going a different way with this.
No.
where you went to the niche of like the snuff film, but seeing real intimacy between two people is something I think that actually might have a bigger audience in a weird way, because how often do you see people just being real with each other? I mean, there's so much irony, and especially on the internet, there's so much people being something they're not. Imagine you're just seeing two people sharing that intimacy that you talked about. I don't know. I think that's kind of interesting too.
You are a freak. I mean, like in a good way, but you're a freak. You're like, there you go. You're like the freak that would be like I don't know, let's say Mormon wives. You'd be like,
I did make Man Baby.
You did make
I did like Man Baby.
You did.
And it's funny, we talking about Man Baby. I've just, there's been a lot of, I wanted to bring this up on the show because I think it's kind of funny to me. There's been a lot of, on the Letterboxd site, which is kind of like a user, kind of like a, I guess it's kind of like a Facebook for movie people or something, and it lets everybody kind of make their own reviews. Tons of hate for Man Baby. I could read some of these quotes, but I won't.
Please,
because they're off color. Something so bad. Let me tell you how bad this is.
Yes.
Somebody, because Ace is on there, because Ace is a movie guy. He plays Man Baby. You didn't get to meet Asa in person, but
did not meet him.
Really, really great guy. He wasn't at the screening, but you met his sister, actually, I think, who was at the screening in New York.
I did meet his sister, and I just
somebody wrote a comment. I am coming for you. I am going to buy a gun tomorrow, and I am coming for you. And
why?
Obviously I'm laughing, but when I first read that, I said, yikes! Like it scared me a little bit, because people are fucking crazy. Obviously it's some. Well, and so that's the question. So my question was like, well, are these? Because we didn't really get the love from the niche. This kind of draws it back to your niche thing. We didn't really get that love from the diaper loving community. A lot of people said it was not a movie for them, really. Some people thought we were making fun of them. And so I'm wondering if this string of negative comments are ABDL people, diaper people, but I actually don't think it is.
Hold on.
I don't think it is.
What was that? What?
ABDL. So the adult baby diaper lover community. I don't see them as being people that would buy guns.
Do you ever worry? Hold on. Do you ever worry that your memory is finite? Like you can only stuff so much in your cranium before you start pushing stuff out.
It's a sad thing.
And you know what the American Basketball League of Baby Lovers or whatever it was called. So you know what that is. I can just see you going out to dinner, some swanky dinner that you go to when you're back visiting your parents down in New Orleans, that someone's going to be joking on a crawdad. I'm stereotyping New Orleans people with crawdads, but you're not going to remember how to save their life with the Heimlich maneuver because you know who the American development of baby people is.
I don't think that. I mean, maybe if I had a stroke, I'd forget, but I think I can do both.
Are you sure?
Actually, like a couple weeks ago, my partner, I was up here working and my partner started choking on something. I had to run down. Thankfully,
I love that dramatic pause. Something.
Well, no, they were choking on food. They weren't.
Okay.
It was nothing sexual. They were choking on food.
Why not? Why you can make that story so much better? No one's gonna know except your partner.
They had a friend over. Who was there too, who actually did the Heimlich. But I came running down, and when I came down, the friend was
talking out loud.
So. What's that?
Oh my gosh. Heimlich to one person. I mean, that's almost like a human centipede. I'm back, baby. No, we've been doing this for 24 minutes and I haven't cried once. You're welcome, America. And I guess internationally. Actually, I keep thinking about my international listeners that if they saw me crying, they're like, "Oh, I am so sorry to see his heart is broken." And I don't know what type of accent that may have tried to be, but whatever.
Right. Where are your international clicks coming from? You can see them, right? Where do you see them?
So last count, and this was actually pre-stroke, I was at 68. And the only reason I know 68 different countries, and the only reason I know that is I wanted one more country. Didn't give a shit which country it was.
69 countries. 69 that'd be a great intro, right?
But now I think that I'm
Stone Genius in 69 countries.
I know, but now I feel like I hope I've passed that now, but maybe not in 3 months, especially with
what was the number one country beyond America or beyond USA?
So the number one
Canada, or was
overall is United Kingdom. And then United States.
Over USA?
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I think it's a lot of the smarties, the genius crowd that I know.
Yeah, there's smarter people in England.
And the fitness crowd, I know. With Jason, UK Jason. So I think that because of those, that's where it came from. But yes, USA is, I hate to say this because I love saying USA number one, but I'm not getting to say that in this instance. Well,
USA number two.
Yeah.
Right. To our British listeners, we should say,
would stop my show if I found out that I had 69 countries listening to me. I would be like, sorry, no more countries allowed.
Right. Yeah, you should definitely shut it off.
And it's weird. Like I get some like, and I'm not kidding, who is listening to me in Iran? I love that. And I love that your laptop somehow got thrown over the Iranian border or however it got logged into there. But yeah, that like some are really weird. And then like Luxembourg, which I'm like, doesn't Luxembourg only have like 350 citizens to begin with?
Right. Yeah. So you're like the fifth biggest show in Luxembourg.
I know. I'm like, yeah. So I will tell you once.
I think some of that might be server farms or something. Like especially like Luxembourg. That makes me think that it's just like there's some fucking computer sitting in a thing that crawled your site, maybe, you know.
Well, and it could be, but I will tell you that because it's not like overwhelming. It's not like thousands. It's a lot of times I can tell on the nationals are people in the International High IQ Society, which I've been communicating a lot more. Right. You know, people wondered what happened to me and stuff.
Yes.
Had to make an appearance. And
that makes sense.
They've been overly nice, which I don't like. So it makes me think I should go back and find some of the comments that were made the past 3 months about me. And I'm not kidding. There are literally comments on the society's, like their internal webpage where we can communicate with one another and we can ask questions and riddles and do all these things. There's literally Vince. I'm not going to use his last name, but Vince will always be like, I got a question for everyone except Rodney in parentheses.
Vince.
Like, hey, everyone, those were great answers except Rodney. Okay.
Vince.
Yeah. First of all, I understand that most of my answers on the society's webpage are 69 because I have pointed out that most of the time, and this is just a weird thing of the universe, most of the time the answer is 69. And so they literally will ask questions and say that I can't participate.
Yeah. Well,
but I
mean, the online thing is weird. It's weird. It's, you know,
it is.
Going back to the bad reviews. It's like the bad review, the myriad bad reviews that flooded Letterboxd. For some reason, it flooded in December. It got like the movie actually got served to more people on Tubi for some reason. So something with the algorithm, I guess, you know, so I actually made a little bit more money in December that month, which is nice.
$69.
More people saw it. Maybe it was like $69 actually. But then these like very like just very like hateful reviews, like one line, you know, vile garbage, half star. And like I said, at first I found it kind of troubling, and now it's kind of silly to me. People are weird.
Do you reply? Can you reply to any of these people?
I suppose I could.
Like, hey, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I know
my movie.
I just don't care.
So I apologize.
So that was my thought. My thought was to reply and to like apologize.
Shortage because of the pandemic. This is all we could get. I'm sorry.
Right. Yeah. That was my definite thought, was to reply and say, I'm so sorry that I offended your community of diaper lovers or whatever.
God,
partially in my mind because
that doesn't even sound right. Because see, if you're like, it should be, if you're gonna name something, you should be able to name it so that people aren't immediately turned away. Because if you say diaper lovers and you don't know that is a person, like an adult wearing a diaper and for a turn on or for whatever I can't even wrap my head around it. But that's much different, because if you told me diaper society or whatever it's called again, I'm like thinking someone like Ren and Stimpy, they're smelling the stinky diapers or whatever.
Right. Well, I think that's part of it. I mean, sometimes they like to smell the stinky of it. That's, people are attracted to the things they're repulsed by. And so on some level, I know this to be true. And whatever like negative comment that someone has, like on some level, if they're truly that offended by my movie, then I kind of like, I'm glad actually. Like if I caused such a reaction that now I would be much more glad if they wrote more, because that would kind of in my mind mean that they cared more. When you just write like a line that you hate it seems a little like, but I feel like if you hate something enough to like swear, if you hate something enough to like say you're going to buy a gun, then like, hey, I think I won actually, because I created a reaction. It was just like when we were in Brooklyn, the audience, maybe laughed at some parts that I didn't necessarily find as funny, or they screamed stuff at certain parts that I maybe wouldn't have. But I fucking love that, because I love getting a reaction out of people. And, I don't want to I don't want to make people feel bad. I mean, I hope that whatever hate those people have, I hope they don't take that home and like beat their kids or something, but, I hope they use that. I hope they make something creative themselves. Maybe they do. Maybe they're great artists themselves. And I hope they are. They might be. I doubt it, but who knows? Maybe they are.
Unless
that would be great.
It's always about being specific. Like if I was over people, if I had something positive or negative, and I tried my best not to say something negative, because you can change it into something nice. Like there's times where Bobby may say, like when I get scruffy, I'm so scruffy. Well, that doesn't really make me want to shave. I mean, it doesn't, it's not that I don't want to, but it's like, but when she's like, oh, I love kissing you when you're smooth, like right after I've shaved.
Sure.
Because I would love to grow my beard back. I loved having a big, long, bushy beard. I don't know. I just enjoyed it. Probably because it brought me more attention. That being said, Bobby, the reason I don't grow it back is because Bobby has learned that when she's like, and she'll just like touch my face, which granted I can't now. She'll like go to put her head on my right shoulder, and then she'll have to switch to my left because I can't feel her face against me on my right side.
Right.
So
more flies with honey than you do with
vinegar, you do,
I guess, right?
Yeah.
If you're trying to catch flies.
Yes. One thing that we've also found out is that, because I'm not afraid to be me. So if you're not afraid for full truth, then I think it's best that you turn off my podcast right now. At least this episode. Come back and listen to us again. So since my stroke, I have no feeling on my right side at all.
Right.
You could stab me. We're unsure. We do think that I could probably, because like I've hit things like with my foot or hand pretty hard, don't feel anything. Now, is that different from a break? Yes, but I don't want to break anything, but we're curious kind of whether, like if someone said, I would give you $10,000 to do a clean break of like your finger, like an index finger on no, not index, like, I don't know, third finger in, like ring finger, but on my right hand, because I'm left hand dominant for the most part. I am ambidextrous, but in this instance, go ahead and do it here. I would take that. Like if you're just like, we're just going to break that, I'd be like, okay, just to see if I felt anything.
So wait, so right, can I ask a question about this? Hold on. Right side, so right, is it the full right cheek of your ass?
Yeah. I mean, it is literally down the center. It is the weirdest thing. So
it's literally down the center. That's interesting. Yeah, because it's your brain. Yeah. Okay.
Here's the thing. I hang to the right. Hold on. Nope. So I hang to the right. So here's the deal. When Bobby and there is I won't say always, but if you ask Bobby, I would say that she would put the number above 95% of intimate foreplay, extended intimate foreplay, 95+% of the time. I want to say 100 because I can't even remember the last time, but I'm sure there were times. That being said, that works on me. Like I can see her or I can kiss on that side. She can kiss on my left side and everything, left side of my neck. And I feel that. So that gets me aroused. If we start having sex, it goes away because I can't feel it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So
and it's literally the right side of your dick. The right side is
so like numb, if she touched the left side, but once it gets inside, there's no feeling. No.
Right.
And so it sucks. And so I feel bad because I'm like, why don't you and I videotape ourselves, which we should already do it for OnlyFans anyway. But if we videotaped ourselves, then I could watch us having sex while we're having sex, which sounds really weird. And yes, I could say, well, I could just watch porn while having sex, but then it sounds like I'm just asking my wife to watch porn while we're having sex, which is not the case at all. I still need some sort of visual, and the visual I want is my wife. So I guess we could always do it doggy style in front of a mirror.
Right. I'm just trying to think how that would be like.
It sucks.
If you can only, it sounds like that's tough because I need both sides.
Yeah.
Personally. I mean, maybe not. I think there's maybe been some times where I've just used but I think even when I've used it, I can just do the top. But I can't just.
I used to always make fun. Hold on, Bobby, because when I always said that Bobby had a thing for Stephen Hawking.
She used to always say that she didn't have a thing for Stephen Hawking, but I thought she did.
That's supposed to sound like a better robot. I wanted to sound like Stephen Hawking.
And this obviously does not sound like Stephen Hawking.
But there had to be a third party involved.
Get the idea.
I don't think that Stephen Hawking, there's no way he had kids. I don't know, man. Because I had always wondered
he did have kids, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
He did.
And see, this is the problem of wondering some stuff because I wondered this in the past. Like, there's no way. I mean, so here is part of so I'm always trying to figure out problems, even if they're not there. So I guess normal people call that anxiety or panic attack, something like that. But the latest thing, so I've been crying a lot, just like a lot of uncontrollable crying. Like, this is good for me talking to you today because it keeps my mind off just everything else that, it sucks. I can't drive. I have limited right eye. There are a lot of things that if you look at me and you've never met me, you wouldn't think there was anything wrong with me.
Can I ask you this? Does the crying make you feel good or it makes you feel bad?
It sucks. It sucks. Yeah. Because so I have been given by Doug Burback at Doberman's in Osawatomie, Kansas, a beautiful Doberman 3 times. And I have returned her 3 times because the reason we got her back the 3rd time is my daughter had explained something to me. They had explained to me that my anxiety was I wasn't going to be able to take care of the dog. And then they go, what needs of this dog while you've had it have you not been able to provide for?
Yeah.
And there wasn't. I was able to take care of the dog, but the issue was in my head. In my head, it's screaming, no, you can't take care of this dog. And I mean, I guarantee you, when Bobby and I do our show in a couple of days, we'll probably talk about Indy, I think she would tell you that these dogs get super attached to one person, especially the females. And Bobby would tell you that this dog, she would say that they were already in love, that I was already in love with her, which I am.
Right.
Is already in love with me. Just a beautiful dog. But even after Trinity had said that and we got the dog back a 3rd time, within a matter of hours, I was like, I can't do this. But then the day after we took it back, I watched our daughter's Trinity's Pity, who's can be a handful at times.
Okay.
Loving dog, but can be rambunctious at times, gets the zoomies or whatever. But I was able to take care of her. And so I know I can take care of the dog, but in my head, I don't feel. So maybe We're going to do another CAT scan here. Nope, MRI at the end of the month. We'll get that read at the beginning of next month. I should find out more. Hopefully, I've never had this type of feeling before. So I am hoping that it passes. I get through it. It sucks. I mean, worrying about something like
anxiety is a killer.
Yeah.
Anxiety is rough. It's rough.
And I've never had it. And this is why I jump back in with the society is we have in the society, we talk a lot quite often about therapy and how difficult it is for someone with a super high IQ to get therapy. And the fun is because if someone had a super low IQ, if they had an IQ of 50, you would be like, oh, therapy is probably not going to help them. Like if they were in the bottom 1%, most people would say, oh, therapy is not going to help that person. And we feel like in the top 1% or 2% or 5% that it's often the same, that we can't get
the outliers. Yeah, the outliers.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, like our problems, we just don't look at them the same ways. Like,
right. Yeah.
I mean,
I get it.
You know, it's hard. Like because before this stroke, I had never encountered anxiety. So I wasn't able to understand when people would talk about a gripping feeling that they just couldn't shake. And even though the feeling had no basis or merit, it was still there. And that's how I feel. This dog, Indy, should be in my life. Indy. So in the last of us recording this, and it'll take a bit for this to get released on podcast form, but as we're recording this, it's been like 13 days, 12 days since we first got Indy. The very first time, she went back the next day. 2 days later, she came back. She went back the next day. 3 days later, she came back. She went back the next day. And the thing that makes me feel good is that she is raised by a breeder on acreage. And so when I did not go to drop her off on Sunday morning, when Bobby took her, she ran down the hill. So because I'm a narcissist, in my mind, I feel that the dog is running down the hill to say, oh my God, guys, I had so much fun with this guy. We just watched TV and we laid there and then he played tug with me and he did this, that, and the other. And that's what I'm hoping, because the dog should be here. The best home is for that, the best owner for that dog. Unfortunately, my brain, even though I can say that out loud, if that dog is next to me, I'm not going to be able to fulfill that. And I feel bad to Bobby, because she's having to deal with this. And, you know, I understand Doug, the breeder, has been extremely cool, and he does not look at Bobby or myself in a negative light because of this. I think he's aware that kind of what's going on. And I think he wants the dog to be with me. And I've also said this. I'm not sure that she won't be in our lives at some point.
Right.
So
right. Exactly. Exactly. You just have to get over that.
I need to be ready for that. You know.
Yeah.
One of the things. So here's one of the weird things about having her is that she seemed to like to be on my right, which was my bad side. Like when we.
Oh, right.
Floor, and I'd lay down with her. Or even if I was sitting and she was laying down next to me, a lot of times they want to be on your feet. Like they literally want to be on you. Like, okay, I'll chew my bone while I'm laying across you. Well, the problem is I cannot feel my right side. So if she started chewing my leg, or my leg got caught, or my arm, I wouldn't feel it. And so I had to keep moving. And I think, I don't know. I don't have an excuse. The only thing I can say is that dog is wonderful. If anyone was going to if anyone wants the most wonderful Doberman, I don't want to suggest Indy, because somehow, like I say, I don't think it's over with her for whatever reason. And I hope it is. I hope that she gets adopted or purchased by someone else. And I hope she ends up living the most wonderful life. But you know, it's got to be hard. And that sucks too, being old enough that you have to set alarms to remind you to take medicine.
Hey, we're all getting older. We're all getting older. And that alarm actually, we're at 10:30 here for me. So
there you go.
Should probably get going to my.
Are you gonna go tell everyone, like, at your new job? You're gonna go, "Hey, I just did this podcast episode," and they'll go, "What about it?" And he'll be like, "Snuff films." But seriously, say potential snuff films. The difference between snuff films and potential snuff films is going to be huge. I mean,
yeah. I get it.
Like, if it's just like I did it about snuff films, they're either going to talk to you a lot more than they have in the past, or they won't talk to you at all. But if you say potential snuff films, you have opened the door for questions, and then you can answer.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's
Bobby and I will talk about it more. I do too. I mean, I don't know if I can copyright a whole genre, but I would love to copyright the genre, because the potential risk that's involved every time I have sex is not very high. I mean, and that would be good too. I mean, like, if I could figure out like sponsorships, and I know you need to go, but I know I keep talking, but I'm going to stop here in a second. If I could figure out a sponsorship with like a heart rate monitor, like a wireless heart rate monitor.
Yeah.
So that like people, while I'm having sex, they could see my heart rate going up and my blood pressure going up.
See it on screen.
I'm not going to say that they would cheer as my blood pressure goes up. I mean, then you tie it into like DraftKings, and there's betting, live betting. Oh my God. I am going to be a billionaire. You know what? Here's the deal, Tim. I'm so rich, I will no longer talk to you. Sorry.
Oh, no.
There'll never be that day. I could be a multi-billionaire, and Bobby would love the shit out of that. I could be a multi-billionaire, and I still need to, the picture of me, you, and Sean Wickens from our trip to New York City, I'm going to print and put somewhere there, because I do want that.
Nice.
Anyway, I know you got to go.
I do have to go, but thank you so much for having me on.
Yes.
I appreciate it, as always. So great to promote Man Baby. Not beloved by all, but beloved by a few. You can watch it on Tubi.
They do like director's cut. Could you do like a snuff version cut? Like,
whoa.
Me,
I don't know if that's
Baby, and then I'm having sex. Actually,
I don't think we're gonna do that. But I do like your idea about we do a 10-minute version that you're gonna kind of
if
you
cut it, you put what you want in it, and then I will
tell
watch
the story
it a couple
in 10, and then you're gonna roast it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
so what I will actually do is I'll watch it. If you do that, I'll watch it a couple times. I'll like live record just me saying stuff while I'm watching it for the first couple times. And then I may scribble some notes down, and then we'll go from there. So that sounds awesome. So
I think that'll be funny. Yeah.
Okay. Tim,
but anyway, have a great rest of your day. Thanks for having me on. And
always. I'm just glad I'm here to still do it. And I'm glad. Hold on.
Excellent.
This deserves clapping. I did not cry this. Yeah. And I will tell you, crying makes you tired too, exhausted. Yeah. But I will tell you, Bobby's like, and then she's really she wants to cuddle like the dog that I don't have there. I'm not saying she likes my doggy style, except Bobby does like my doggy style. Bye, Tim.
All right. Bye, Ro. Take care. Have a great day.
Okay.